Hey, good morning, everybody. We're just getting ready to. We got about 9 minutes before the show, so I'm going to run a few checks and let you guys see a few things that we work on a little bit here. So, yeah, let's do some of that stuff.
Hotels and motels thrive on occupancy rates. But what if you could fill rooms and save on expenses at the same time? With TC Trading, you can barter rooms for services like laundry, maintenance, or even marketing. This brings in more guests and saves cash for essential needs, such as staff salaries and utilities. Maximize your occupancy and minimize your expenses with TC Trading. Struggling to manage your business expenses with cash alone? With TC Barter, trade credits are easier to earn than cash, and they help you conserve what matters most. Use your trade credits to access goods and services while keeping your cash for the important things. Whether it's paying taxes, loans, mortgage, utilities, or your team, TC Barter helps you save where it counts. More flexibility, more control, more opportunities for your business to thrive. Download the TC Barter app now and start trading smarter today. Wednesday, Meetup. Enjoy some business networking and bartering every Wednesday night. There is no admission fee. Each person just pays for their own delicious soup and sandwich. Come to the Soup Kitchen Restaurant, 2012, South 1100 East, their Sugar House location, Salt Lake City, Utah, 84106, every Wednesday from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. See old friends and meet some new friends. Running a car dealership requires constant management of inventory and costs. But what if you could trade to save on those expenses? With TC Trading, trade cars or services like maintenance for things you need, like advertising or even cleaning services. This brings new customers to your dealership while preserving cash for more important needs. Trade smart, save cash, and grow your business with TC Trading. If you like to trade, you can join us every Wednesday night for some fun networking and TC bartering at 6:30 p.m. at the Soup Kitchen Restaurant, 2012 South 1100 East, Salt Lake City, Utah, 84106. There is no admission fee. Simply pay the restaurant for your own delicious soup and sandwich. Hotels and motels thrive on occupancy rates. But what if you could fill rooms and save on expenses at the same time? With TC Trading, you can barter rooms for services like laundry, maintenance, or even marketing. This brings in more guests and saves cash for essential needs, such as staff salaries and utilities. Maximize your occupancy and minimize your expenses with TC Trading. Running a car dealership requires constant management of inventory and costs. But what if you could trade to save on those expenses? With TC Trading, trade cars or services like maintenance for things you need, like advertising or even cleaning services. This brings new customers to your dealership while preserving cash for more important needs. Trade smart, save cash, and grow your business with TC Trading.
Hey everybody, I'm just a little bit slow on the trigger, but it is great to be with everybody. Good evening. It is Tuesday, 1/21/2025. And I'm your host, Michael Tanner. And this is a trader's option where we try to explore the different options that you can do with cryptocurrency and other types of trading. Today's been kind of a really like a whirlwind day for the president is the president's first whole work day. Speaking about the president of the United States, he's demanding, he's insisting that all federal workers return to work, and so they have to work out of the office. So what I'm suggesting is maybe that he has to not go do golfing as much. Although it is kind of one of those quandaries of how much damage can he really do from a golf course. But then again, uh, so let's get into the stories and let's get going. Bitcoin holds above 106 as traders bite nails over the absence of Trump crypto executive order. Bitcoin price bounced back above 106 as the U.S. dollar index cools and markets react positively to Trump's economic agenda. I don't know if he has an agenda except for tariffs. Anyway, crypto and equities markets roared towards new highs on January 21st, with Bitcoin making up the bulk of the ground lost during the pullback the day before. In the U.S., stock markets were closed on January 20th in observation of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. But traders' optimism over what is believed to have the market and business climate friendly Trump presidency was reflected right at the opening bell. The U.S. dollar index continued its decline, pulling back 1.27% from January 15th two-year high of the 110 to currently trade slightly above 108. As the 2024 came and closed, and right at the start of 2025, markets participants' anxiety over the incoming Trump administration and a handful of other geopolitical tensions were reflected in the sharp rise in the U.S. Treasury yields and the DXY. After the smooth transition from former President Biden to the self-declared economics-focused Trump cabinet, the DXY has cooled off alongside Treasury yields. Multiple analysts, CEOs, and investment fund managers have gone on the road and shared their optimistic view regarding President Trump's economic agenda. This optimism can clearly be seen in the S&P 500, Dow, and QQQ, which have gained 1.21% and 0.82% and 2.7% respectively. A portion of the rebound in equities can also be attributed to investors' belief that Trump's initial plan to implement tariffs on multiple countries has cooled. I don't know. He's still going at it. Bitcoin strategic reserve or not, BTC bounces back. The following positive vibes seen across the market: Bitcoin at 105 and 764K. Also, well, it's 105K, but 105K and 760 bucks. Also rallied, gained 3.8% to reach an intraday high of 107,240. While BTC has failed to eclipse its January 20th all-time high of 109,588, the rebound is likely welcome, especially after anxious investors voiced their disapproval or disappointment over President Trump making no mention of crypto on the inauguration day, the absence of an executive order related to strategic Bitcoin reserve or crypto in general. I think this has to do with his nature of wanting more on the grift, because he made a lot of promises to the cryptocurrency traders and other people out there. Well, what if he just holds back a little bit? Maybe he thinks he can juice them for more money. It's not unlike Trump to do that. Even though Trump may have backtracked on this day one promise to the crypto community, many of whom donated millions of dollars to his campaign through lobbies and personal contributions, there's a positive news that emerged from the White House on January 21. As reported by Cointelegraph, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission took the first step towards reforming U.S. crypto regulatory policy on January 21 by revealing a new crypto task force purpose to develop a new framework for digital assets. The task force is led by longtime crypto advocate Commissioner Hester Pierce, and many investors have already pleased by the appointment of Commissioner Mark Udea, who is currently serving as the acting SEC chairman. Related, 80% of Bitcoin short-term holders back in profit as analyst says FOMO in full swing. FOMO is fear of missing out, in case you didn't know. And yeah, you're from another country or something like that. Anyway, Bitcoin also appeared to react positively to the commentary of the Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan, who said the banks across the world would be happy to make crypto payments a real thing if regulations provided sufficient clarity to do so. Well, being interviewed by CNBC, the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, Moynihan said, quote, "We have hundreds of patents on blockchain already. We know how to enter the field," end quote. Taken with wider context, Moynihan's comments align with Bitwise Chief Investment Officer Matt Hugan, who who's claimed on multiple occasions predicted that corporations buying Bitcoin is a much bigger deal than most people think. Going on to our next story, this is from CoinGate, breaking Rex shares filed for XRP, Sol, or Solana, Doge, and Bonk ETFs. So in recent development, assets manager Rex Shares has applied for flurry of crypto-related exchange-traded funds, ETFs, with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. The filing included applications for ETFs that would offer XRP, Sol, Doge, and Bonk to institutional investors. Sol is Solana, if it's just a way of shortening it. Anyway, Rex Shares files for XRP, Solana, Doge, Bonk, and EFTs. The S1 filing revealed that Rex Shares had filed for XRP, Sol, Doge, and Bonk EFTs with the U.S. Securities or U.S. SEC. The asset manager filed these applications in collaboration with Osprey. The asset manager also filed with the SEC to offer Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. Interestingly, the filing also contained an application to offer an ETF that will be offered the newly launched Trump meme coin to institutional investors. These filings come just after Donald Trump took office and Gary Gensler resigned as the SEC chair and Commissioner Mark Udea designated as the acting chair. Donald Trump's pro-crypto stance has undoubtedly contributed to the flurry of crypto ETF filings, as these asset managers look to be more confident about the approval under his new administration. Notably, Rex Shares filing for Doge, Bonk, and Trump's ETFs are the first of its kind as it relates to meme coins. Meanwhile, 4 other asset managers have applied to offer XRP ETFs, while 5 have filed to offer Solana ETF. Analyst gives insights on these filings. Ex-Post Bloomberg analyst James Safet provided insights into these filings. He noticed that the ETFs products were filed under the 1940 Act like a crypto futures ETF. According to him, these funds would hold combination of derivatives and assets spot, while Cayman, a subsidiary, would hold these assets in trust. Safet further remarked that this looked to be similar to a playbook used by the commodity ETF world to avoid K1s. Anyway, XRP, Sol, and Trump coins failed to react to the news of these filings. On the other hand, top meme coins, Doge and Bonk, surged 3% and 5% respectively on the back of this development. And going on, so Trump is really going for the pardons in a big way, and it's dangerous. So if you don't have rules in your market, you're going to get stolen from. And we have rules for reasons. And Trump pardoned Silk Road creator Ross Ulbricht. U.S. President Donald Trump has followed through on his promise to pardon Ross Ulbricht, the founder of the online drug market Silk Road. Who was in prison for over a decade. U.S. President Donald Trump has given full pardon to Ross Ulbricht, who has been in prison for 12 years for founding the defunct darknet marketplace Silk Road. I just called the mother of Ross William Ulbricht to let her know that in honor of her and libertarian movement, which has supported me so strongly. It was my pleasure to have signed a full and unconditional pardon to her son, Ross, Trump said in a January 21st post on his Truth Social platform. The president added the Ulbricht sentence of 40 years plus 2 life sentences was, quote, unquote, ridiculous. Quote, okay, so Ulbricht was arrested in 2013 and was sentenced to life in prison without possibility of parole in 2015 for his role in operation of the creation of Silk Road. Freeing Ulbricht was one of Trump's many promises to the crypto community during his presidential campaign, with businessmen pledging to pardon the Silk Road founder on his first day of office if reelected. Several Bitcoiners had earlier expressed frustration with Trump for not following through on his promise to pardon Ulbricht on January 20th. Trump instead pardoned around 1,500 people involved in the U.S. Capitol attack on January 6, 2021. This included people who beat police officers with a black baseball bat and people who slammed police officers in a turnstile door. Police officers and other people died. 14 people died on that day. And Trump tended to pardon or commute all their sentences. That's a personal comment for me, but U.S. Senator Rand Paul is also calling Trump to pardon Ulbricht in January 2021 letter, just hours before the president announced the pardon. Paul noted that Ulbricht, whose online black marketplace used Bitcoin, for payments, received a far harsher sentence than many users, such as Matthew Vernon Jones, who ranked in the top 5% of drug dealers on the site and received 6 years in jail. Some reports previously suggested that Trump was sympathetic to Free Ross campaign and had considered clemency for a Silk Road founder in 2020. Why did Bitcoin supporter advocate for Ulbricht's release? So the crypto community has long called for Ulbricht's release for various reasons. Some questions Ulbricht's key role in Silk Road, arguing that he didn't deserve to die in prison for contributing to a marketplace where users could freely exchange goods, both legal and illegal. Others called him a Bitcoin legend due to the early contribution to Bitcoin market. So this guy, he invented something and maybe he let it go out of hand. While Ulbricht did not deny his involvement in Silk Road operations, he repeatedly contested allegations that he was the sole person in charge or original creator of the platform. I didn't start Silk Road. My predecessor did. From what I understand, it was an original idea to combine Bitcoin and Tor to create an anonymous market. Everything was in place. He just needed the pieces together, Ulbricht said in Forbes interview in 2013. Ulbricht sacrificed to Bitcoin adoption. Some Bitcoiners support Ulbricht's release for his role in the adoption of Bitcoin. Silk Road was one of the first peer-to-peer exchanges accepting BTC, though for illicit purposes. Ulbricht believed that it had launched Silk Road in 2011 and helped bring Bitcoin to prominence during its early days. That year, Bitcoin experienced its first rally, reaching then a record price of $32 in June. Ross Ulbricht's case highlights the complex intersection of personal liberty, technology, and governance. While Silk Road's legacy is controversial, the innovation of crypto commerce and privacy tech were groundbreaking. That was from Talos or at Talos Agent. I owe everything to Ross Ulbricht. Crypto changed my life. Crypto became big because of him. He made the ultimate sacrifice. We are all benefited from his work. The Bitcoin Project program, M.A. Taki said on X. Bitcoin-friendly billionaire investor Tim Draper supported Ulbricht's release in 2019, arguing that the U.S. needs entrepreneurs like him. Ulbricht's views on freedom resonated with Bitcoin's principles, further cementing his place as a polarizing figure in the crypto community. During this time in prison, Ulbricht was regularly posted about Bitcoin and crypto on X. On January 19th, Ulbricht took an X to warn the community against a fake meme coin bearing his name. So, yeah, he was an inventor, whatever his role is. There are a lot of people who have done a lot worse that got less time than him, murderers, rapists, other things like that. So it's kind of like one of those things. If you believe that The rules are the rules. Then maybe, and once you're in jail, you're in jail. But maybe 10 years he's learned his lesson. Okay, so we're gonna move on. So according to Cointelegraph, here's what happened to crypto today. You need to know what happened to crypto today. Here's the latest news on daily trends, events impacting Bitcoin price, blockchain, DeFi, NFTs, Web3, and crypto regulation. Today in crypto, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has announced a crypto task force that will develop a regulatory framework for digital assets. Dogecoin rallied after Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency launched its official U.S. government website displaying a dog-themed cryptocurrency logo. And the industry pundits are holding on to hope that Donald Trump will soon take action on crypto after remaining silent on digital assets on his first day in office. SEC launches crypto task force led by Hester Pierce. So the U.S. SEC is taking the first step towards crypto regulatory clarity following a former chair Gary Gensler's departure on January 20th. According to January 21 announcement, the agency has created a crypto task force dedicated to developing a framework for digital assets. The task force will be led by Commissioner Hester Pierce, dubbed Crypto Mom, for a pro-crypto stance when it comes to regulation. And the task force was announced by Commissioner Mark Udaya, who is serving as the acting SEC chairman until the U.S. Senate confirms the nomination of former SEC Commissioner Paul Atkins to serve as the remainder of the former chair's Gensler term. So the task force focus will help the commission draw clear regulatory lines, provide realistic pathways to registration, craft sensible disclosure framework, and deploy enforcement resources judiciously, end quote, said the financial watchdog in the statement. I really doubt that. I really doubt that 80-year-old guys who have a hard time running their own email are going to understand this stuff. I think that maybe there might be a time to say, hey, guys, once you get to be about 70, let's not have you run anymore, okay? I mean, yeah, you have contributions to society, but really, you should look more like the people that are voting for you. And that might be age discrimination and other things like that. But it is true in a lot of other countries, these guys, you just lose a few steps when you turn 70. I'm 55 right now, and I can tell you, I'm not as great as I was when I was 30. I'm just not. I think I am sometimes, but I'm not. Anyway, Musk Doge agency launches official website with Dogecoin logo, and Dogecoin rallied more than 11% following the latest developments around Elon Musk's agency of U.S. and government efficiency. By the way, they were sued today. They didn't get out the first day before they were sued like eight ways because there's a law called FACA, so they got FACA'd. Yeah, they're going to have some problems with that. The Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, led by Musk and aimed at cutting government spending and streamlining regulations, launched its official website on January 21. Which one are they primarily worried about? Are they worried about government spending, or are they worried about regulations? Maybe they're worried about people that are police officers that they're spending the money regulating them. And if you really look at it like that, there's a lot of things that Elon Musk is a billionaire because he's clever and smart and all this other stuff, but also because he has billions of dollars of government contracts, so it'll never run out. So that's good in its own way. But Doge is sitting at 37 cents, right around there, and rallied over 11% to 38 cents. Cointelegraph Markets Pro data shows. So Dogecoin has gained significantly momentum from developments surrounding Musk's non-governmental agency. Retail investors view the agency as a potential catalyst for Dogecoin's price, since the agency shares the same logo and an acronym with the cryptocurrency. Shortly after the website's launch, Dogecoin's price briefly surpassed 40 cents. Still, Dogecoin remains over 48% lower than its original all-time high of 73 cents, which hit nearly 4 years ago, May 8th, 2021. CoinMarketCap data shows. So what is all this stuff happening? I mean, we are really we're in it now we are in it. So we've got this new stuff out there, and we have 200-year-old laws, and we have 100-year-old laws for regulating markets and things. We have something completely new, and it's going to be the Wild West out there for a little while, right? But maybe in the volatility, we'll all make a little bit of cash with some wampum, some real money that we can take home and buy food and everything. Speaking about that, egg prices are going to go up a little bit because of salmonella. It's not because of inflation so much. It's just because, hey, we're going to wipe out some chickens. We're going to recall a bunch of eggs, and it's just to keep us safe. So yeah, hopefully they don't cut the FDA checking to make sure that everybody's safe and their food is safe. And I'm really kind of concerned about that. Next thing we go is, hey, and if you're worried about the economy, if you have any worry whatsoever, so what you do is we have 3 trading partners, right? And we're going to piss them all off at once. Because, if you're going to fight wars, make sure you fight it on multiple fronts, right? You just can't pick one and win. See, it's smarter to pick one and win so the others know what's going to happen to them. But Trump says, and this is from the Washington Post, the headline reads, Trump says tariffs for China, Mexico, and Canada taking shape for February 1st. Trump underscored his intention to use tariffs as a tool of international economic policy, increasing vital source of government revenue. It's not, okay? It really not, okay? We're going to lose more money on tariffs than anything. But this is written by David Lynch. President Donald Trump signaled his early plans to use tariffs on imported goods as a key weapon in relations with the United States. 3 top trading partners saying that the first new taxes on foreign products could be announced on February 1st. The new taxes are on the American people. Let's keep that in mind, okay? Well, speaking at the White House on Tuesday, Trump said he could slap new fees on imported products from China as soon as a week from Saturday. We're talking about a tariff of 10% on China based on the fact that they're sending fentanyl to Mexico and Canada, the president said. Trump accused China of shipping fentanyl to Mexico and Canada, resulting in massive quantities of drug entering the United States. They've killed 300,000 people last year, in my opinion, and they have been destroyed by drugs and fentanyl, he said, referring to the 3 countries. American importers also pay tariffs up to 25% on many Chinese goods, the legacy of trade war that began in 2018. So Trump told reporters Monday that he was considering putting a 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canadian goods because they're not allowing vast numbers of people and fentanyl to come in to the United States. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, announcement could come as February 1st. Trump said without detailing when the new taxes would take effect. The Oval Office remarks reiterated a threat that the president first levied on late November after winning the election and raised the prospect of boosting U.S. consumer prices even as the Federal Reserve struggles to vanquish inflation. So you do this, okay, so if you push inflation up, right, you increase costs, you can't cut interest rates. So those 2 things don't work that way. You can't increase inflation and try to cut your interest rates. It'll blow up the economy. This is why it's important to have good people, smart people in charge. If you have to know who the smartest person in the room is, guess what? It ain't you. And so we have to have this conversation because we're about trading and we're about options and we're about cryptocurrency and we're about a lot of things, but mostly we want people to have better lives. It doesn't matter what part of the world you are. The United States is the engine that runs the world when it comes to the economy. Also, anyway, let's get back to the reading. In extended comments Monday while signing a raft of executive actions, Trump also threatened to impose tariffs on China, European Union, and BRICS, an informal group of 10 developing nations that includes Russia. He cited Beijing's stance on a potential deal over the social media site TikTok. So he did something to allow 75 days for TikTok to get bought out or something like that. Anyway, European reluctance to buy American cars, and BRICS alleged desire to, quote, do a number on the United States, an apparent reference to the bloc's long-term goal of decreasing its use of U.S. dollar in trade. Targeting so many trading partners for so many different reasons underscored the president's intention to use tariffs, which are a tax on foreign goods, as an all-pursual tool of intentional economic policy and an increasing vital source of government revenue. It's not. We're going to lose money on this one. Okay. It doesn't work like last year. The federal government collected about $85 billion in tariffs from American importers, less than 3% of the total federal tax revenue. That's right. But guess what? We tax ourselves. That's a tax. It's not. The other countries aren't going to feel it. We're taxing ourselves. So anyway, we're going to make a lot of money from these tariffs. No, we're not, Trump. You have to look at the numbers. Look, I know you're not an operator, and I know that you make casinos go bust. Okay, so we can't really trust you with that numbers stuff. You know, those math things are difficult. Anyway, earlier Monday, the president issued an executive order requiring several studies of U.S. trade policy, including investigating the cause of, quote, large and persistent annual trade deficits in goods, recommendations for establishing a better system for collecting tariff revenue, and unfair trade practices by other nations. The reports from the Secretaries of Commerce and Treasury and the chief trade negotiator are due April 1st, because it's got to be on April Fool's Day. If you're going to pick a day for something that's important, don't do it on April 1st. You're just not going to look good. It's just not going to work for you. Anyway, the United States might impose tariffs of 25, 30, 40, 50%, even 100% on Chinese goods if Beijing balks at a potential resolution of U.S. concerns over TikTok's Chinese ownership, Trump said. The president also criticized the EU for running a trade surplus with the United States, which is likely to top $230 billion for 2024 when final figures become available. We'll straighten that out with either tariffs, or we'll have to buy our oil, or they have to buy our oil. The one thing that they can do, our oil and gas, the one thing they can do to catch up quickly, buy our oil and gas, and they should do that, he said. Monday's whirlwind of presidential activity was a reminder that tariffs are a favored tool for Trump, and the one that he's willing to employ far more frequently than other presidents have for nearly a century. Monday's abrupt upheaval in the commercial environment was familiar for businesses that navigated Trump's first term and trade wars. Quote, there's a lot of money. Quote, there's a lot of just uncertainty right now about when, whether, and for how long would come into play against Mexico for anyone else, said Jake Colvin, president of the National Foreign Trade Council, which represents companies such as Caterpillar, Ford, and UPS. Trump is inclined to impose tariffs on Mexican and Canadian products, at least temporarily, to win concessions from the U.S. neighbors over border control. Yeah, I'm not really worried about Canada. The border's not rushing between Montana and Canada now. Anyway, according to one executive who spoke on the condition of anonymity to speak freely, so new import taxes would raise the price of a long list of products, including Canadian crude oil, gas, lumber, and Mexican beer. Not the beer! Fresh fruits and vegetables. Okay, the auto industry would face particular disruption as half-finished vehicles often cross the national borders multiple times before completion. In theory, the president could invoke emergency powers to impose the new levies as soon as February 1st, but slower process is more likely. He could do it that day, but historically, the fastest that people have moved to give is 15 to 30 days notice. John Verenu, a partner at Covington and Burlington, a former U.S. trade negotiator. Both the Mexican and Canadian governments sought to project firmness while avoiding direct clash with the mercurial U.S. president. Officials in both countries have drawn up plans for retaliatory tariffs that would discourage sales of American-made goods. Speaking in Quebec, Canada, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said Tuesday that Trump would need Canadian supplies of oil, steel, lumber, and critical minerals to achieve the golden age he promised. American Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said she would, quote, keep a cool head. All right. Mexican Foreign Minister Juan Ramon de la Fuente is scheduled to speak by telephone with Secretary of State Marco Rubio about Trump's demands, according to a Mexican official who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss confidential plans. Financial markets took the president's comment in stride. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose by less than 1% in mid-morning Tuesday trading. So we are about at our time, and I love to be with everybody, and I really, really try to do a good job here. If you like the job, hit like, subscribe, do the YouTube thingies, okay? Like, subscribe, follow, share. If like, subscribe, call, share, and make sure that we can do a better job for you. If you like the show and you'd like to be on a panel, great. I'm looking for some help. If you'd like to be a moderator, great. We're always looking for some help. Harris is normally here with me, but he won't be here for a couple days yet, and we're hoping that he comes back and he's doing better. Anyway, and if you'd like to meet us on tcbarter.com in the morning, we have some notes down below. So we love to hear from you. Thank you for being with me, and we'll see you in 5, 4, 3,